I am considering ending multiple friendships because they missed my birthday/engagement party. I have previously ended a long-term friendship over a missed birthday, so before I am quick to end these, I want to make sure that I'm not doing this out of the trauma I have. At this point in life I am not friends with anyone from high school. However, in the years following, I did try to maintain contact with most of the people in my friend group, especially my best friend, Liz. Liz missed my 18th birthday party because she was working. It was a bummer, but I don't fault her. I do fault her in that she made no effort to try to celebrate in the days before or after without ever acknowledging that's an important milestone birthday. For my 21st birthday, I arranged dinner at a place that specializes in making cocktails. This is important to note because I did not drink before I was 21, so it was an opportunity for me to fully immerse myself in the experience of drinking as an adult. Despite my best efforts to plan around Liz's schedule, she missed it on account of food poisoning. Later on that evening, she stopped by my house with another friend and brought me a banana split. She told me they had stopped by the local ice cream shop together. I want to reiterate. She cancelled on my birthday dinner because of food poisoning but managed to find room to fit ice cream in her stomach. More importantly, I am allergic to bananas. My 25th birthday was the final straw with Liz. At this point, we were living in separate cities, but would communicate daily. As the days got closer, it became evident that Liz had not made any of the necessary arrangements. Liz missed my birthday in spectacular fashion. She admitted that she had not requested the proper time off, hadn't booked a flight, and failed to secure a hotel. She would have been more than welcome to stay at my house, so that was not a legitimate excuse. After the dust had settled, I had found out a man she had recently started dating was celebrating his 27th birthday, a detail she had failed to mention. Though she wouldn't admit it, I'm sure she wanted to spend the weekend with him. The final straw was when she sent me a half-assed birthday gift several weeks after, which included stale candy that she probably found in her cupboard and a birthday card made from, I kid you not, line 3 whole paper. I thanked her politely for the gifts and told her that our friendship had run its course. I was unwilling to accept that someone I had considered my best friend for nearly 12 years could be so callous in how they treated what was an important day in my life. Fast forward 5 years, I'm turning 30 and I am happily engaged. I sent out the invitations over a month in advance. I booked a private venue and offered an open bar. 3 people who I would consider newish but valued friends all failed to show up to my party for various reasons. The first never RSVP'd. When I followed up shortly before and asked if they intended to go, the response was yes, I just don't know how to fill out this RSVP invite you've sent, but I'll be there. The problem with this is that they failed to even open the event and so would be absent of any sort of details on how to attend. Despite efforts to clarify, I assumed that they would not be attending and couldn't just say no. The second friend did not respond initially, but then followed up several weeks later and said that they would be there. They had articulated to me a number of times that they were going through a bout of rough mental health and had previously flaked on a number of things we had planned to do together. However, this friend is always down in the dumps. They have not been officially diagnosed with any sort of mental health disorders so much as they are just constantly upset. Nothing makes them happy. Nothing makes them excited. They're always complaining, and they're overall a pretty self-centered friend. I don't mind this, I don't mind being supportive of them, and I don't mind being encouraging to them. My only issue is I ask that in moments where I need support, you show up and support me. So, despite RSVPing, yes, they failed to show up. The final friend is the most hurtful one. Let's call them Lisa. This is someone I've known for a short time but have become very close to. I have confided in them about things that I have not confided in most people about. We hang out often, we see each other often. Several weeks before my birthday, they gave me an elaborate story about how they would likely be late to my party because they were spending the day in another city and knew it would be tough to get back in time for the start of the event. I told them so long as they can make it at some point, I would really appreciate their support. The day of my party, I hop on social media to see that Lisa is not in another city but out to brunch with a mutual colleague of ours who I don't have the best rapport with. When they worked together they were cordial but not friends, and now this person works at my company. Fine person, terrible co-worker. Lisa knows this and knows I don't mix my work and personal life. So after seeing a post of them out together, I was not annoyed so much as I was suspicious. An hour into the party I got a very drunken phone call from Lisa explaining how they were on their way and they were bringing said colleague with them to the party. Before I could respond, I hear a loud "just kidding" through the phone before it clicks. That was the last phone call I had with Lisa before I accepted that they would be too plastered to make it to my party. The next day I get a text along the lines of "so sorry I got home, I fell asleep. I crashed, I got a little bit too drunk at the start of the day but I owe you drinks. Hope it was a great party." I responded with a thank you as I had responded to the many other people who had texted me on my birthday. We have not spoken since. I have gone back and forth with my fiancé about confronting each of them. I've expressed in pretty clear terms how important it is for my friends to show up and support me and how much I value being able to spend quality time with them. I travel often and I am limited on time, so when I am around, I really try to pour into my friends and give them the time, effort, and energy they deserve. So now I sit here happy about my engagement and thankful for all the friends and family who supported me on my special day, but wondering why not one, not two, but 3 different friends failed to show up and be there on a day that was very important to me. With a wedding, bachelorette parties, bridal showers, and more on the horizon, I sit here and wonder, are these friendships worth continuing? What is bothering me in this moment is that I pride myself on being an open and honest communicator, but I'm also finding I just do not care to talk to 3 different people about the ways they hurt me. Perhaps it is turning 30. Perhaps it is age and wisdom finally aligning, but I genuinely just don't care to make the effort. So, would I be wrong for ending friendships over missing such a special day in my life? Comment. Seems like you aren't reading things well and / or are choosing not such great friends. Like either you have an inflated sense of the importance of the relationships or you're just picking really flaky people to add to your inner circle. Maybe focus on the people who did show up and cultivate those relationships. There's no point in confronting these other people. The mental health one is a train wreck and doing nothing about it. The other 2 just kind of suck. I get that life is busy as an adult and attending an adult birthday party isn't exactly a high priority when other things are going on. But if you say you're going to show up, show up. Honestly, you sound like a nightmare. You're obsessed with being the main character in other people's lives? I don't care if it's one day of the year, people have shit to do, man. How dare you? I would not be sad if you ended a friendship with me. You are putting so much pressure on your poor friends. Why on earth would you get so upset over this? You're not 8 years old. Birthdays are not that big of a deal, unless you're totally self-absorbed, which it sounds like you are. You need to chill out. Also, I resent your paragraph basically detailing how you think your friend is faking her mental illness and how they're always a big bummer to your main character story. Having depression so severe like your friend is not being down in the dumps, and it is so cruel of you to talk like that about serious illness. Absolutely hilarious irony that you call that friend self-obsessed. Some therapy might help you figure out why this bothers you so much and why you're so obsessed with yourself. Unless an emergency comes up, which should be communicated before the very last minute, it does sound like some of your friends may be flaky because of this. Lisa specifically sounds, well, rather awful, honestly. Let me get plastered during an event, make a call, and then make a joke of it with a "just kidding" after saying I'm coming is incredibly immature. The schedule conflict may have been unavoidable, but her behavior wasn't excusable, emo. It sounds like she can't really hold her liquor very well despite being around, I'm assuming, 30. However, you're recalling birthdays and such which happened 9 and 12 years ago, and you're holding on to the hurt that people didn't come to X or Y birthday for so long. This just sounds exhausting, for both you and everyone else. Birthdays for most people are very mundane events, and when you become a fully fledged adult, having birthday parties and birthday dinners become lower and lower and lower priority as life goes on. To a degree, you may need to adjust your expectations. If someone makes an effort, you can make an effort. If they don't, there is no need to end a friendship. The bridge will break down on its own. You don't need to burn it. As much as it may hurt, just focus on the people who make you a focus in turn. That said, I do think you need some reflection on how you approach mental illness. That sounds like your friend may have chronic depression, which very deliberating. Some people struggle to manage even the most basic things like getting out of bed, showering, brushing their teeth and eating because of how bad their depression is. It's far more than just being sad. It doesn't excuse them of being a no-call no-show despite saying they would come, but your description of them is rather callous. If you don't want to be friends with them anymore, then just don't be friends with them. It's as simple as that. You are really getting raked over the coals. Some of it is certainly deserved, and this is a situation that calls for a lot of self-reflection and perhaps transformation. But to be slightly more compassionate, you mention your mom has bipolar disorder. A lot of people raised by parents with mental health issues end up having difficulty with relationships later on for so many reasons. BPD is very common in these scenarios. Part of that is sensitivity to rejection and feeling more intensity in relationships than most do. Some of your feelings might be coming from your upbringing and might not be as big an external problem as you think, at least not with every single person on this list. Another thought is that you say you pour a lot of yourself into relationships and rarely get much back. I think when it's a pattern for someone to always be the one maintaining the friendship, they cultivate a lot of friendships where they do all the work. They expect someday the work will be reciprocated as they need it, but usually the dynamic never changes. They end up with more selfish and lazy friends, who show up when it's easy or fun. Most likely, these aren't all terrible people. It's probably some combination of mismatched expectations and effort. You do deserve friends, we all do, who express reciprocity. To get that, however, you probably have to do some work on yourself and your perception of your interpersonal relationships.